Hey guys, welcome to your regression therapy program. I am super excited to be sharing these tools with you and all the information that I have about them because I have found that regression therapy is incredibly powerful towards your healing process and towards building the life that you actually want to live and you feel super excited about. So to begin this course, I would love for you to get a notebook, one that you really love and that you can enjoy using for a long time, because this is going to be your regression journal. Through this notebook, you're going to write down all of your experiences you have, remember through the past lives. You're going to be writing down how they affected you and how the healing manifested in your physical reality. So first step, find your notebook, whatever it is. You can go buy one if you want and then continue this video. So let's start this class by defining the concept of reincarnation. So what is reincarnation in the first place? Why is there so many religious paths that believe in reincarnation while some others don't? The concept of reincarnation explains that our soul can live on even after our physical body dies. It says that our soul will be able to incarnate a different physical vessel in order to continue learning and evolving in a spiritual fashion. The thing is that there's a veil that comes on in which we are prevented from remembering all of the past lives that we have and accessing all of the information. The reason for this veil to exist in the first place, and the reason why we don't remember things as soon as we were born, even though some kids do, parentheses, it's because we're not supposed to remember if we don't have the consciousness to handle it. If we remember everything, if we remember all of those things that we have already lived, there's a possibility that we will not live the experience that we need to live intensely enough, because we are a little bit detached from what we have in front of us because we remember all the wisdom that we are carrying with us. Let's say, an example, you have a difficult situation in front of you. It's not the same to live that physical challenge if you remember that it is kind of like an illusion because you have lived so many things before and you have all of those lessons at hand. If you don't know that, if you don't remember that, and you live that experience, it's very likely you're going to live it way more fully. You're going to believe the illusion, you're going to experience the sensations and the emotions and the thoughts to such a profound level. And that's, I guess, the intent of that veil being there, in my opinion. So the concept of reincarnation actually stems back to India. Is supposed to be the first place in which it was actually talked about or discussed about, but recently they have found that actually it's Egypt and stems to 5000 BC or something like that. So there's a lot of different spiritual paths that explain incarnation, that believe in incarnation. And based on that belief is where all of these regression therapies stem from, obviously. I'm not going to go too deep into history or the origins of reincarnation or the origins of regression therapy. The intention of this course is for it to be a very brief introduction for you to have the information that you need to go through the therapy yourself and start healing, clearing all of that baggage from the past and manifesting your desires. So if you would like more information about reincarnation, about regression, you can go to different sources that have a lot of powerful origin information. The books from Madame Blavatsky are fantastic. You can check that out. You can also check out the Upanishads and the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. All of those hold information about reincarnation and how the soul can actually move along and live along after our bodies die. So based on that, I hope you get all the information that you need. We are going to be focusing now on the reasons why people begin to get interested in this subject in the first place. The therapies and the recordings that you're going to have access to throughout this course are designed in such a way that you're going to be able to first open a sacred space for yourself, clearing the energy around you and creating the safe haven for you to have the most wonderful experience possible. Then I'm going to be guiding you just as I would in any other guided meditation. You're going to be laying down and I'm going to be guiding you through the process of basically going back to something called your Akashic records, which we're going to be talking a lot about later ahead. And by going through the Akashic records, you are going to have access to basically all of your past lives and past experiences. However, we're going to set the intention, which I'm going to guide you through it too. We're going to set the intention for you to basically go to the life that by healing right now is going to make you have the biggest impact in your reality in a positive way. So we're going to be filtering these past experiences in different recordings. You're going to have a recording to heal financial blocks. You're going to have a recording to heal romantic blocks. Also a recording to heal your health and to reclaim your intuition and spirituality. You're going to receive 4 regression audios that are already in this program a little bit ahead, but it is very important for you to, I know you're excited, but it's important for you to get this information before you go ahead and do these therapies. And the cool thing is that you're going to have access to these regression recordings basically forever, and you can use them every so often to make sure all of those blocks are not attached to any experiences from the past and therefore blocking you in a deeper degree. Every one of these recordings have been recorded with intention in a sacred space and with the help of my angels. So the energy that each one of these recordings carry is very, very powerful, and as they are protecting you energetically. So it is very important for you to know that you are safe, that this is a very friendly method, and that there's no way to do it wrong. There's no way of doing it wrong. If you don't see anything, it's because you're not supposed to. Maybe you can try tomorrow and another lifetime is going to pop up and you're going to see everything and heal it accordingly. Know that there's no way, there's nothing you can do, there's nothing you can stop doing that will in any way affect you or, be unsafe in any way. As long as you just lay down and listen to the recording and just try in your mind to imagine the things that I'll be guiding you to imagine. Everything is going to be fantastic and you're going to be receiving so much intuitive information from all of your channels. It is possible that once you enter the therapy itself, that you might feel, especially the first times, a lot of expectation. Know that expectation of how things are going to unfold, of the memories, what are these memories going to bring, what have I been in a past life, all of these expectations have a potential to block the information coming through. So the best attitude to have is to be completely relaxed, with no expectations whatsoever, almost imagining that it's not gonna work, just kind of like laying down and seeing like, I'm just gonna let it happen to see if something comes up at all, And that way, through that energy of being relaxed, you're gonna actually open the channels more for the psychic and intuitive information to come forth. This information might show up as random thoughts, images, messages in the form of words that you hear in your mind, also sensations. You can feel kind of cold or hot, or maybe your chest feels a little tight, or your head feels a little one way or another. These are all ways in which our body receives psychic information or intuitive information. So be very open to whatever comes up. Be very willing to just observe the whole thing. Observe how you feel, observe what you see, and observe in a very detached manner, not taking anything personally, just allowing things to flow. Know that the first thing that pop into your mind are the right answers. So if in the meditation I ask, for example, are you a man or a woman in that lifetime? Don't try to be sure, just whatever flows. The first thing that comes to your mind, I'm a man. I'm a man in this lifetime. That is going to be the right answer. Why? Because you are under a relaxed state in which your subconscious is kind of like open and the right answers is just going to flow to you. But if you resist them and you're wondering like, how can I be sure if I'm a man or a woman? I don't know. I kind of feel like a woman, but I'm not sure. That energy is going to block the information as well. So just allow yourself to be guided. Release and surrender all control, and as soon as you finish the recording, make sure to write everything down, okay? The Akashic Records is basically the library in which every single one of your experiences, every one of your past lives, whether they are here on Earth or in other dimensions or other planes, all of the information there is about your soul's experience and existence is stored in your Akashic Records. So this becomes kind of like a visual library of all of your memories, and as soon as you get in there, you'll be able to access all of your different experiences and have like access to the healing that they contain as well. So in the Akashic Record, there's guardians. There's guardians that protect your information, making sure that you don't alter, move, or change anything that you're not supposed to move, alter, or change. So the greatest way to make sure that you only heal, move, and change the things that are appropriate for you is that we communicate with this guardian or this guide to make sure that what we're doing is actually something that's going to be beneficial for us. So in each of those recordings, we are going to recognize the existence and the presence of these guides and basically ask them if it's appropriate for us to be doing what we're doing and healing those specific things that we want to heal, those specific blocks that we want to release. If by any chance you go into the Akashic records and the whole meditation is being seen, the images very clearly, and then all of a sudden you start seeing pitch black and you don't see anything and just kind of like get frozen there, what that means is that it's very unlikely that the healing that you think you're doing is going to be beneficial for you. It's very likely that it's not going to help you, so they kind of block the image for you. If this happens, we need to allow it, respect it, and understand that it is a form of guides protecting us as well. Because if it was ideal for us to go through that process, then we would, and it will be very, very harmonious and beautiful. But if we start losing the image and seeing completely like a black canvas, that means that we're not supposed to be altering the things that we are planning to alter. So it's always great to put these sessions in your guide's hands, in your angel's hands, in God's hands, because there's always a higher wisdom than our human mind has at this point of the journey. So the greatest thing is to just trust that everything that needs to happen will be for your highest good, even if that means that you're not going to see anything. The most important thing I want you to always keep in mind while doing this recordings is that just after you arrive back into your physical consciousness, remembering all the experience, make sure you write down everything. Because these regression therapies and these memories are almost like dreams in which they, like after a few minutes, they just kind of fade away. So it's going to be very important for you to write down everything. That's why I want you to have your notebook ready and to have it right there with you. The way regression therapy works is that by going back into these lifetimes, you're going to recognize that in those lifetimes you had experiences that created an energy charge that is kind of held within you in some level of you, usually the unconscious mind. That energy keeps attracting, by the law of attraction, similar vibrational experiences. So it's going to attract things that are similar in vibration, meaning that they're going to make you feel the same way those experiences did. Let's say, for example, in a past life you were robbed, you were mugged. Then that energy, that fear that was held in that past life, unless it is healed and released, it's probably going to be attracting that energy even into this lifetime, and that experience is probably going to repeat itself. So it's very likely that by going back and deactivating that block, deactivating the pain from that experience, you're going to be kind of like preventing that from ever happening again. So by going back, you're going to find out that the lifetimes that you're guided to heal are very charged ones. It's very unlikely that you're going to go back into a super beautiful lifetime that had nearly no trouble. Because if you want to heal, let's say, financial blocks, or romantic blocks, or health blocks, or spiritual blocks, you're going to be guided by your angels and guides to go to the lifetimes that were most emotionally charged, meaning more difficult, in order to actually clear that energy, opening up the space for you. So be sure that the experience is most likely going to take you to a lifetime in which there was a challenge, in which there was, something difficult happening that you can actually clear. Release that energy from your unconscious by remembering those things and just being aware of them. Just having consciousness of where that origin was created, or where is this block that you're experiencing right now in your life stemming from, is actually going to kind of like recover that energy for you. And you're going to be able to be not only more aware of why you're living the way you're living right now, but you're also going to have a clear pathway ahead of you in order to manifest your desires without that blockage, which you were even, not even aware of, By releasing that block, you open the space for the things that you actually want to manifest. So that is how regression therapy works. There's a lot of different views on the concept of reincarnation and why we're actually going through this process in which we go from one life into another and what we're evolving towards, why are we growing, like what's the point in elevating our consciousness through these cycles of reincarnation. And I think there's no absolute truth. I think it would be irresponsible of me to say that something is a certain way when honestly we're not going to find that out until we die, all of us. So I think that based on the experiences and memories that I have and the way I perceive things to be, my opinion is that we are going through these cycles in order to, at some point, be able to say that we have gone through every experience there is to be lived. Meaning that if, let's say, I was the victim in a lifetime and the next one I can be the oppressor. Or, you know what I mean? Like going through all of the different roles to understand the illusion of separation, the illusion of duality. And I believe that by going through all of these lifetimes, by expanding in this way, there will reach a point in which we don't need to come back to Earth anymore because the lessons we needed to learn have been learned. The maturity of our soul will be reached, and there will be no point in coming back. Otherwise, unless we want to actually help the collective to raise consciousness. There's a beautiful story called the egg story. I think you should definitely Google that up. I'm going to see if I can actually include this story here. Maybe I'm going to find it and read it for you. Because this is a really, really cool way of seeing reincarnation and understanding the concept and everything it carries, Because some people understand that there is one lifetime that's a past lifetime or two. And when we actually enter the Akashic records and we see that there's tons and tons and tons and tons of past lives, we begin to wonder, what's the point of it all? But yeah, that's my opinion. And I think that it's also very important to keep in mind that you need to form your own opinion about these kind of things. I think that we can learn, we can read, we can research, we can receive all of this information, just like the information I am sharing to you. However, we are capable of kind of like seeing what really resonates with our soul. Our soul knows, our heart knows, and that which resonates fully with you is the way to go. Some people explain that the point of reincarnation is to become better and to make better decisions and to be a better person in each lifetime until we get kind of like more and more credit until the point in which we're not gonna need to come back. I disagree with this perspective because I believe that the whole reason of reincarnation is to embody all there is, including the good, including the bad. Because duality, or the separation between good and bad, it's basically a perception. It's an illusion that, because if you think about it, good and bad is different for everybody. Every single person has a different metric and standard for what is good and what is bad. And I think that it goes beyond just being good, because being good only kind of like rejects the whole other aspect of who we are, or represses it based on our ideal. And I feel like reincarnation is about being the whole thing, like experiencing everything there is to experience and maturing as a soul based on the knowledge that we acquire from that. So more than doing it better, I think it's about living fully, experiencing every single situation that we have in front of us fully in order to really mature as a soul and understand the people that we have in front of us. If we have experienced a ton of things, gone through a lot of different emotions, good and bad, only that way can we have the depth and the capacity to actually help and assist someone who is going through a similar situation and has no clue what to do. The deeper we go into the experiences that we have, the more of a library of tools we have to help and assist others. And the easier it is going to get to connect to love and compassion, truly experience love and compassion from the bottom of our hearts, because we have been there. The more experiences that we go through, the more we're able to connect. Well, you guys, I really hope you enjoyed this brief introduction and all of this guidance for you to really make the most out of these recordings that I have created with so much love for you. I hope every single one of your regression therapies turns out to be absolutely amazing. and that you feel and experience the profound healing possibilities they offer, just as I did. My intention is that this program is life-changing for you in the most positive way possible. So let me know how it goes. I would love to hear from you and all of the powerful manifestations you are going to create due to these healings. I hope you have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for sharing this time with me.